We'll adjourn the special Board of Education closed session meeting at 7:05, and we'll convene the regular board meeting at 7:05. Take up the matter of the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mrs. Zuko, will you please lead us?
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The roll call is here. Obviously, there's two board members missing, both excused, President Gilliland and Brian Wong. We have no report on our closed session. We took no reportable action. Is there any changes to the order of business? May I entertain a motion for the approval of minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. May we please have a vote?
Board Member Williams.
Yes.
Board Member Zuko.
Yes.
Acting President Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. We have our recognitions and communications. Up first, Dr. Darvin Jackson will be introducing some very fine people from Mayflower to the community.
Good evening, everyone, members of the board. I have the honor of recognizing Miss Kathy Rosenberg first from Mayflower. You get to join me here at the podium. So this is on behalf of Dr. K. She could not be in attendance this evening, so I have the pleasure of recognizing Miss Kathy Rosenberg. Fortunately, Dr. K sent some kind remarks in honor of your presence this evening. So this is what she had to say. Kathy Rosenberg has been a member of the Mayflower family for many years as a parent, PTA president, and a staff member. As an employee, she works with our special needs population. She has a calm demeanor, is extremely compassionate and caring, which we know you need. Kathy is willing to continuously learn and grow professionally and will go above and beyond to exceed expectations. The success of the students is her number one priority and dedicates many hours outside of her workday. She is truly an incredible asset to Mayflower. We feel blessed to have an individual who genuinely cares for our students and community. And someone's been taking fashion tips from you. So this is what Dr. K says. And oh, by the way, she always looks so cute and stylish. So we appreciate and love you so much. So thank you for everything that you do. No, we have so many goodies for you. Yeah. Because you get to do this part. So it's just, we have some goodwill gifts for you. So from Excelis, from the Doubletree, Imprintability, and Foothill Credit Union. Thank you. And if I could ask our board to come up front, it's picture time. So you're going to come up right here. All at the same time? Oh, well, I changed this one up. I put my stuff on top of it. Hold on, Jen. Jen.
Just walk right in front of us. Oh, nice.
Okay, once again, Catherine Rosenberg, Classified Employee of the Month. Now, is Raylyn Rowland here? I just want to make sure. Okay, I didn't think she was going to make it. Raylyn was the Mayflower Teacher of the Month, so I just wanted to make sure we acknowledged her this evening. Okay, from Santa Fe, Dr. Caroline Sweeney.
Good evening. Thank you, members of the board. I have the pleasure of presenting my certificated and my classified member. I'm going to start with my classified member, Ms. Connie Shao. There are people on my staff that are so much more eloquent than I. My favorite quote was, "Connie, she does everything." And it's true. Connie, bless her heart, is a special education aide at Santa Fe Middle School. She literally does everything for our students. She's in the classes, she does small groups, she does big groups, she's out playing basketball, she's in the cafeteria, she's walking to and from testing saying, I can be a help here, and she's so proactive that what I can say, my day lights up when she walks through the door, and she's perky every day, which I don't know how that's possible. She's happy every day. Again, don't know how that's possible. But it just is. And our students love her. If they are having a bad day, they say, can we go to see Miss Shao? And I think that says everything. So again, Santa Fe's Classified Employee of the Month, Ms. Connie Shao. For my certificated Employee of the Month, Mr. Rob Cady. Mr. Rob Cady is a PE teacher at Santa Fe Middle School. He has been in the district since 1996, did start at elementary level. When asking his colleagues to give me some adjectives to describe Mr. Cady, they say things like trustworthy, supportive, caring. When you ask the kids, they just say, I love PE. I love going there. I even had a few say they love the mile, which is, it's big. It's Santa Fe for them to say, I love the mile. So what I can say as a colleague is that Mr. Cady is a great sounding board for all of his colleagues. They trust him 100% in his judgment, and that is huge. I'm blessed to have you on my staff, so I thank you. Again, our certificated Employee of the Month, Mr. Rob Cady.
Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Really good name.
Oh, you're up front. It's all right, you. Except for not in front of our students. Jason, you don't want to jump up?
Hello, my name's Tom McFadden, and I am the director of the Village Extended School Program, and there's a couple things that we have going on right now. One is that we're going to see a real short performance of the Santa Fe students' version of Julius Caesar here, all in the next 5 minutes, so it's very exciting. And what we wanted to do was just recognize a couple of the teaching artists that helped us put this production together. The Village program's main two components is academic assistance, educational enrichment. So through our performing arts director, Patrick Garcia, we were able to establish a partnership with Noise Within to come out and do an 8-week residency program for drama. So it was a very exciting time for the students. Being a former middle school teacher, anytime you ask them to speak Shakespeare, put a metal blunted sword in their hands, and ask them not to have any accidents, it's a walk in faith, but they did a great job with it. We're excited about it. So students, you guys go to the back and get yourselves ready, as we say. And then in the meantime, we would like to recognize our teaching artists from Noise Within. We had 2 young ladies come out and help us with the 8-week drama production. So can I bring up Alicia Green and Allison Elliott with a round of applause? So the Board of Education would like to recognize and thank A Noise Within, which is a celebrated theater company providing Shakespearean workshops for the Santa Fe Middle School Village students over the last 8 weeks. So we thank you all for your patience and guidance with these students. Okay? I'll hand that to you, and I think, are we going to do pictures? Is that, and then they'll sit in their seats? We're great. Okay, so you step over there in the hot spot, I guess.
Show it. Yes, it is all about the certificate suitable for grade.
Hold on for a second. Ready? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to sit down.
And we'd also like to thank Ms. Roanhorse and her village staff for helping us organize these students. So Ms. Roanhorse is in the back. The staff members are trying to sit down and be inconspicuous in their seats. So students, whenever you're ready. Go for it.
Get you home.
So we make holiday and see Caesar rejoice in his triumph.
Yeah! Before rejoice, what car bring him home? Which we follow him to Rome. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time oft have you climbed up the walls and battlements to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And do you now stew the flowers in his way? Oh, that comes and travels over Pompey's blood. Begone, run to your houses!
Go, good countrymen. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked to ceremonies.
May we do so?
Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. I'll bat and drive away the vulgar from the street.
In the scenes that followed, Caesar and his groupies, Soothsayer, Cassius, Casca, and Brutus, have a discussion wherein his groupies warn him, beware the Ides of March. Caesar leaves, and Brutus and Cassius talk about the fear they have that the people choose him for their hate. Brutus and Cassius plan Caesar's murder. Calpurnia, Caesar's wife, warns Caesar not to leave the house, but he is persuaded by Decius. And this is Caesar's death.
The Ides of March are come.
Aye, but not gone.
Are we all ready? Will it now, Caesar, that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Metellus throws report time Caesar on my heart.
Thy brother by decree is banished. If thou dost bend, pray, and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur on the way. Though Caesar does not wrong, nor without cause he will be satisfied.
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring thee that this man's brother have an immediate freedom of appeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, Caesar, pardon.
I was constant his brother should be banished and cause his dude to remain and keep him so.
Oh, Caesar.
Great Caesar.
Doth not bootless kneel.
Speak answer me.
Get out, come on, get out.
And take it off.
I would be remiss if I did not introduce Judy Schaefer from Foothill Credit Union, who is here on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, who gives out a lot of the presents that are given to our certificated and classified teachers. Judy, thank you so very, very much for being here.
Judy.
You know, as Acting President Hammond returns to his seat, I would simply like to recognize A Noise Within and the kids at Santa Fe for doing a spectacular job. It's clear why Julius Caesar is one of Shakespeare's best-known tragedies. In a former life, I was a high school English teacher, and if my students understood Shakespeare nearly as well as the kids did after those 8 weeks with Noise Within, I would have been very, very fortunate. So thank you, Santa Fe, for bringing us the best, Mr. McFadden for making this possible, and partnering with The Noise Within.
All I can say is that the video games today and the violence of Shakespeare may be similarities. Just saying. Let's see, where am I? Oh, we got to board member reports. Are any reports from the board? Okay. Our student representative, Jasmine Diaz, is here to tell us about all the things that are happening on her campus.
Yes. So we had a successful blood drive on April 23rd. We've collected 77 pints, and that is pretty well because we also had our SBAC testing, which kind of conflicted because a lot of juniors had wanted to donate. But 77 was a high number. Our Renaissance People's Choice Awards is Thursday, April 30th, which is tomorrow, at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Prom is on Friday, May 22nd from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. at the Natural History Museum for $85 with ASB and $90 without. On May 20th, it will be a regular scheduled day. May 20th, which is a Wednesday. And then on 22nd, we'll be getting released at 12:30 due to prom. We have our AP testing starting May 4th through May 15th. And our ASB is conducting our every 15 minutes drinking and driving awareness program again this year. It will be held outside of MHS during prom season. The exact date is not going to be released due to the element of surprise. But the California Highway Patrol sponsors are a majority of the program, but we are in need of donations to pick up the cost that is not funded. If anyone would like to donate, or if you would like more information about the program, please contact Sandy Duff at Minerva High School. Our Math and Science Academy End of the Year Awards Night and Junior Project Competition is Monday, May 18th at 5 p.m. in the auditorium. And our Renaissance End of the Year Awards Rally is on Thursday, May 21st at 6:30.
Thank you. May I please ask the superintendent if we could coordinate the every 15 minutes? I know the city participates, but there should be some sort of notification to the residents, because when they close down Colorado with all the emergency vehicles that come in, it triggers quite a bit of responses. And people want to know what's going on because it looks like something major is happening at the high school. It's true. Waiting for Kathy to quit writing. Up next is our report from the superintendent, and take it away.
First is a report on the meeting that we held at Mayflower Elementary School last evening. A group of about 30 parents joined the school leadership as well as members of the Board of Education and district administrators, and we were fortunate to have both City Manager Oliver Chi as well as Police Chief Jim Hunt for a twofold purpose. The first was to make sure that our processes and procedures were clear in terms of safety and safety endeavors and partnerships with the city. So that included our Safe School, Safe Cities Steering Committee, the regular MAGIC committee meetings, and the development of the Safe School plan at every school. So specifically Mayflowers was identified. The second purpose was to solicit information from participants, from those who attended, to gather some additional information, see what else we can do to augment existing procedures and make sure that we are responsive as an organization to the needs of the school. It was the start of some good dialogue, and we have some specific next steps already targeted in 3 areas. We'll have some subcommittee work in the area of visitor access, kindergarten facility, and surveillance equipment. More to come as these 3 subcommittees continue their good work.
Thank you.
Oh, I also have one more not agendized, and that is that the Kings and Queens are back from New Orleans, and they have placed in the top 100 in the world. So MHS Robotics, Kings and Queens team just came back from their St. Louis trip for the World Championship Robotics.
Will we have an opportunity to see them before the end of school?
We will.
Okay. Now is time for public comment for items that are not on the agenda. Anyone wishing to speak to the board, simply fill out a form and you shall be heard. We have any speakers?
Yes, we do, Mr. President. Heather Burkhardt.
I feel strange being here with no audience because we all chatted pretty much last night. I wasn't planning on coming tonight. Last night was a very exhausting night for me and probably for some others. I appreciate all that came to our school, Mayflower. Sorry, I didn't clarify. It was very impressive how many people came, especially the board and the city officials, and I wanted to thank you for organizing that. I had the opportunity to meet with Chief Hunt today and talk about further concerns that I have, and was very pleased with our time together. I, as some of you know, left last night very, very frustrated. And today I had no response or solicitation regarding any subcommittee work groups, and I acknowledge it takes some time to get that together. I don't think we have time to wait. Our 5- and 6-year-olds are still left unattended going to the restroom on an open campus. I spoke to the Department of Children and Family Services today, Child Protective Services, and did not make a report. I am a mandated reporter. I'm a nurse, and just wanted to find out what my duty is as a mandated reporter to see children unattended on a school campus. And they did give me direction. They advised me to call the police department if I do, or any of fellow parents do see a child unattended on campus. As we mentioned last night, there was a 5-year-old at the outer door of room one, unattended, did not have a peer with him, another 5 or 6-year-old, and knocking on the door. The doors are heavy, and no one heard him for 5 minutes outside the room 1, which is the closest classroom to the street. I told him, you need to come around to the back side where the children are supposed to go to. He was even recently dropped on his rainbow behavior chart down to blue, which is devastating to a child because he had done that before. He's a repeat offender of going to the wrong door when he's out about on the campus. This is a liability to the school district, most importantly, a concern for harm for that child. I have not heard a solution has been proposed for this issue. I feel uncomfortable having to tell my son, who's 6, you're not to leave the classroom unless it's with an adult. And I was told by our principal that's just not doable. We don't have the staffing to do that. I don't know what to do with that. I honestly don't. And I know you can't answer questions. I'm just relaying an intense concern. So I have made the decision, and I asked the Department of Social Worker at the Department of Family Services what the repercussions would be if I took my son home whenever I saw a substitute teacher in his classroom, because they are not able to track children adequately. When they don't have an aide with them, they're the only adult in the classroom. They have no ability to escort a child to the restroom. The substitute teachers are not familiar with the children. It seems to be one different sub each time. We have multiple subs. It seems like there's a substitute teacher every 2 weeks in our classroom. That may be wrong, but it seems that way. The tracking of students on the campus is poor. One Wednesday, we had a sub. It was a male. Our teacher's aide was out. He was going to be alone with the children the whole day. I had an appointment, a doctor's appointment, but I told him I will come back. I'll be back at 9:30. I came back, and the classroom was in horrible order, and had to intervene, clap my hands the way the teachers do to get the children's attention. He left me alone with the children at lunch, out in the playground. I had no idea what time the children go to lunch or where they go to lunch. I assume the cafeteria, but I was out in the playground with 26 children that I know because I work in the classroom every Monday, not knowing what time I'm supposed to take them. And by the way, I got a parking ticket that day because I parked on the side where they're street cleaning. Thankfully, the police department waived my fee. When we got back to class, I was with the children during their lunch in the cafeteria. We lined up waiting for the sub to pick us up. I counted the children. There were 26 children. When we got back to the classroom, there were 24. We lost 2 children. I asked the sub, do you know where the 2 children are? He said, which ones? Didn't know their names. I picked up the phone in the classroom. How do I get the office? What's the phone number for our school office where the staff are? It's not posted. Do I dial 0? What extension? It's not posted. So I ran down to the office and told the gals in there, we don't know where 2 of the children are. And I knew their names because I know them. So she told me, go back to the classroom. She walkie-talkied people, and 10 minutes later she called our classroom and said they were at a special ed type class. They were taken out. No one let me know they were taking the kids. The tracking is horrible. And it's unacceptable to leave a parent volunteer responsible. I love those children. I'm committed to them. I've volunteered when there have been subs until the teacher's aide arrives to ensure the kids feel secure. I honestly feel like bailing out on this school district. I've lived here 23 years. I've been a taxpayer in this community for 23 years. I want the best for my child and for his classmates. And I honestly cannot trust people who say that's a safe school when I have a list of 24 criteria, physical risk reduction, that lists 24 characteristics of a safe school. We meet 3 at an elementary school, which is in the foothills where there's wildlife, bobcats. We were told children were being escorted to another room during a PTA meeting because there's a bobcat on campus. Bears, mountain lions. With the drought, more deer coming down, which will attract more wildlife. Lockdown, when there are children roaming aimlessly on the campus, means nothing. The lockdown is basically a locked door. No one go out. What about the kids that are roaming the campus? These issues are incredibly important. And to be fluffed off, saying it's a safe school, it's a safe neighborhood. And Chief Hunt reassured me of that, and I believe him. It is a safe neighborhood. But there are mentally ill people who are not getting the care they need, that are taking actions. And wildlife, kids wander. We have special ed programs on our campus. We have kids who wander by nature due to some of their special needs that they have. It's just unacceptable. And I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to leave Mayflower. I will not go to any other school. My son is on medication. He needs to be monitored. So we need a nurse on the campus that he's at. We will not switch schools. I want our school deemed safe. I'm just this close to consulting with an attorney because I feel like our rights for a safe education have not been met. And if you want to talk to me afterwards or another time personally, I'm happy to do that because I need some options for my son to be safe, that I can leave his campus not worried that something's going to happen to him. My husband and I tried for years to have children. We adopted our son when he was 2 days old. He's everything to us. I have advocated with regards to some special needs that he has since he was 2.5 years old. I am his advocate. I have been deemed by the courts to advocate for him. And our school district, it feels to me, is preventing me from doing so. Thank you for listening. I have more to say, but I'm going to stop. Thank you so much for last night. And I plead with you to please make good decisions. It's not political. It's not financial. Schools that have had problems, the school down in San Diego who had a 7-year-old almost abducted from her school, open campus just like ours. I've spoken to the school. Within a week, they have fencing going up. Where did they get the funding? Where? They're taking all these measures. The day after that happened, they had a security guard monitoring who's coming in and off that campus. Waiting for something to happen is unacceptable. I will not accept that. Prevention. Take care of our children. Stand up. Please. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming. While we cannot talk about this, I do want to say one thing for the folks that are at home who are viewing. Our campuses are safe. It's not lip service, it's true. We spend an incredible amount of time making sure that each and every child in our district is getting the education they deserve in the environment in which we are sure that they're safe. Last night, we heard from the chief of police who assured us that our campus is safe. Are there things that we can do to improve that? The answer is yes. You heard the superintendent during her report speak to those and the measures that we're going to take. As I told the group last night, here is the not inconvenient, it is the uncomfortable truth. And that is, you can't snap your fingers and do things where you're building. You have to be thorough in what it is that you do. Steps were already taken to improve, and you cannot come back up. Your time to speak was then, this is my time to speak. And those steps were started this morning. We had a meeting last night, which was on the 28th of April. This is the 29th of April in a day, and the steps were started. I understand frustration about when you want something faster than it can be done, but you must be thorough in what it is that you do. Because while there is one person that advocates for one, this board and this district advocates for 6,800. And we will do it to our best of our ability in an environment that is safe for everybody. And I want to assure people that your campuses are safe. There is nobody on this dais that works for this school district, that works in a classroom or on a campus, whose mission is anything less than the safe surrounding of the kids in this community. And with that, I'll open up to public comments for items that are on the agenda. Is anybody here to speak for that? That being said, we'll move on to the consent calendar, and I'll entertain a motion for consent.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. May I take a roll call, please?
Board Member Zuko.
Yes.
Board Member Williams.
Yes.
Acting President Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. Up next, we have a bridge supplement in instructional materials for secondary schools, and may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, and I'm going to make an assumption that, thank you, because I'm like, I didn't write it down. I didn't get the new one, so that's okay. It's my fault.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Kaiser,
Thank you. As part of the shift to Common Core standards for math, bridge materials necessary to accommodate the updated standards, the representatives from middle schools have been reviewing the new standards in comparison to the former standards. The middle school math departments found that there was a need for supplemental curriculum to address standards not addressed in the current curriculum. A review of the supplemental materials that offer bridge to the Common Core state standards was conducted, and the middle school math team recommends the supplemental text listed, which is the Glencoe Math Accelerated by McGraw-Hill. The board accepted these textbooks for public review at the March 25th, 2015 board meeting, and we are now asking for the board to adopt these materials.
One question, Dr. Kaiser. I know at the elementary level, and I'm sorry if this has been covered in a meeting that I have missed, the elements of the instruction had a component for parents to be able to go online, and also, since some of the math instruction seems to be a new way of thinking, the parents also need to learn a new way. So do these include that as well for parents, any parent ed component?
These particular materials do not have a digital component that we're asking for adoption right now. And at the middle school level, it's a little bit different. The SWAN Math has intensive resources for parents that have come with that program.
Okay.
And this one doesn't have the same types of materials for parents.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? May I have a vote, please?
Board Member Williams.
Yes.
Board Member Zuko.
Yes.
Acting President Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
I'm going to make another assumption. This is Dr. Kaiser as well. Okay. Monrovia High School 2015 graduates.
Yes, we are bringing before you the 2015 graduates and asking for a motion to approve the Monrovia High School students for graduation on June 4th, 2015.
I would especially like to approve the very last kid on the list.
And we love the Z's in the alphabet.
I knew she'd be at the end next to, Joey's mom, but, so I would really like to approve that one, but the whole list gets to go.
Need a second.
Second.
May we have the vote, please?
Board Member Zuko.
Oh, yeah.
Board Member Williams.
If we don't approve this, she stays at home.
No. She has to go to GW. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And Acting President Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. And congratulations to Bonnie on George Washington University.
There are a lot of great kids going to a lot of great places, and she has her sign on the line on May 26th with a bunch of other great kids, and that is my favorite event of the year, getting to see where all the kids go this time of year, because they are pretty phenomenal.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Up next, 7.5, resolution authorizing the issuance of Monrovia Unified School District general obligation bonds. Connie?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And this resolution authorized the district to issuance of Monrovia Unified School District 2015 General Operation Bond, which means that the refinance for 2006 Measure M. So by refinancing, basically the district were able to help the property owner in the community save the property tax. The over the course of the bond, the district were able to save over the $2 million, and the refinance bond will not extend the original bond final maturity date. So this is good for the community. By board approve this resolution, then district will officially start the process for refinancing the bond.
Thank you. Entertain a vote?
Board Member Williams.
Yes.
Board Member Zuko.
Yes.
Acting President Hammond.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
7.6, the public disclosure of proposed collective bargaining. Dr. Jackson.
I'm actually going to defer to Connie Wu on this one.
I just want to make sure you were still awake.
I'm here.
I was
Yeah,
okay.
he made a deal and I cleaned the book. That's our different responsibilities.
I like that.
Okay. So, the Monrovia Unified School District has reached a tentative agreement with the Teachers Association and with our Classified Employee Association as well as the management. We reached agreement to increase the employee salary 2.36% for this school years. And the Ed Code AB 1200 required the district, once the tentative agreement reached, we need to report a summary of the agreement to the county, and we will make the agreement, which means the impact of the district financial budget as well as detailed agreement, make it available for public to inspect. So this is the first step. We make sure that the public will submit the information to the county, and this is public disclosure, and in the next board meeting, the board will vote for approval.
Thank you very much.
Just one question. So the parent, if anybody wants to look at that, where would they actually find it? If anybody in the public wanted to see what the agreement looked
They
like.
can definitely call my office.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Up next, item 8.3, excuse me, resolution to honor Monrovia Staff Appreciation Day. Mr. Jackson. I was going to
Okay.
give it to Connie, but she did such a good job on that one, we're just going to pass it over.
The Board of Education is requested to adopt a resolution declaring May 13th, 2015 as Monrovia Unified School District Staff Appreciation Day, May 13th, 2015 as the Day of the Teacher, and declaring the week of May 17th through the 23rd, 2015 as Classified School Employee Week. to express gratitude and appreciation to employees for their service to the Monrovia Unified School District and the youth of our community.
So moved.
Second.
May we have a vote, please?
Board Member Zuko?
Yes.
Board Member Williams?
Yes.
Acting President Hammond?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Item 8.4 is the school calendar dates, and Mr. Jackson.
Acting Board President Hammond, we have a calendar. The Board of Education is requested to approve the 2015-2016 school year calendar. The Monrovia Teachers Association, California School Employees Association, and the district agreed to the proposed 2015-16 school year. It is now being presented to the Board of Education for final approval. It should be noted that all students return on August 19th, 2015, as this is the first day of school. The school calendar dates in the packet reflects August 20th, and thus it should be reflected that that date needs to be changed.
Any questions?
Just a comment that I'm really excited that I don't need to know that date for next year. My last kid's leaving. August 19th can be anybody's day. I'll just be having coffee somewhere.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. May we have a vote, please?
Board Member Williams?
Yes.
Board Member Zuko?
Yes.
Acting President Hammond?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. Item 8.5 is the creation of a new position in food services. Dr. Jackson.
The Board of Education is requested to establish a new classified position in food services at Monrovia High School. The proposed position would support the current needs of the district and is projected to replace the existing food service manager production center position. So this is not an additional position, it is replacing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? I just have one real quick question. Excuse me. Is when the replacement, does it do anything to the salary steps?
It potentially may.
And what would that possibly be?
The Personnel Commission has to review the projected impact, and they have not had a chance to do that. We would bring that back to the board after the Personnel Commission meets the next time. But normally, it's somewhere between 2% and 5%, but because the Food Services Department is a self-sustaining department, it would not have an impact to the general budget.
Thank you. May we have a vote, please?
Board Member Williams?
Yes.
Board Member Zuko?
Yes.
Acting President Hammond?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. Item 9.1, board policy. Sorry, I had to go to 8.6, creation of new position in food services. Dr. Jackson.
This position follows suit as the previous position. The Board of Education is requested to establish a new classified position in food services at Brad Oaks Elementary School. The proposed position would support the current needs of the district as it is projected as well to replace the existing food service manager position.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? May we have a vote, please?
Board Member Zuko?
Yes.
Board Member Williams?
Yes.
Acting President Hammond?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you. Next, 9.1, board policy 1312.3, and Dr.
Jackson.
Dr. Jackson. Yeah, this is the Darvin Jackson.
This is 9.1, correct? The Board of Education is requested to receive for second reading and adoption the proposed revisions to Board Policy 1312.3, Uniform Complaint Procedures, and accompanying AR 1312.3. I'm presenting the board with updated uniform complaint procedures so that we are in alignment with the new policies and procedures recommended by the California State Department of Education as we are proceeding through the federal program monitoring process. The most recent amendments are noted in yellow in the packet.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? May we have a vote, please?
Board Member Williams?
Yes.
Board Member Zuko?
Yes.
Acting President Hammond?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0.
Up next are 9.2, pending board issues. Is there any changes to the issues?
There are not.
Thank you. On to old business, I just have one question, and That is, with the governor's decree about the decrease in the amount of water, have we had conversations with the city? And have we had any conversations with the school sites? More specifically, have we done anything and done any research into waterless urinals?
Indeed, we have, Acting President Hammond. We've spoken both to City Manager Chi as well as Mr. Marchetti has done extensive research on the waterless urinals that the Board of Education had actually installed a few years ago, and they are in working order. In fact, Acting President Hammond, those waterless urinals helped when Santa Fe was out of water and the construction had impeded the water flow to the school. The boys' restrooms with the waterless urinals was still intact. So those waterless urinals came into really did help us not only with the water conservation efforts, but also in assisting students because those waterless urinals worked when we were out of water and without the water access to Santa Fe.
And I remember, thanks to the good folks over at Jack in the Box to help us out. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting will be here in these chambers on Wednesday, May the 13th. Also, our joint Personnel Commission board meeting will be on May the 19th, followed by regular board meetings on May the 27th, the 10th of June, and the 24th of June. There are some important calendar dates. Remember, Memorial Day, Monday, May the 25th. All sites will be closed. And then the last day of school will be June the 5th. If there's no further business before this body, we will adjourn at 7:56.